Hey YouTube, what's going on today? Rockjock here. Just wanted to put together a quick video talking about the new seasonal legendary aspect of the alpha. It's actually for the Wolves Companion on the Druid. So I was going through leveling my Druid. I was kind of back and forth when I picked a Druid for Season 3. I was kind of thinking burr, but ultimately I thought the lightning builds might be pretty interesting. I still think they are. I think it'll be a late game respec to get the full power of those. But so anyways, I was leveling with Rabies, Lightning Storm, and I was using Blood Howl and Trample for my for some resource help. It didn't quite help as much as I thought, and towards the early mid game, I'd say like around level 40, in the early 40s, it kind of felt a little lackluster. You gain your resource back like decently, but you spend so much using Lightning Storm. So basically my idea was poison creeper, double poison damage basically. So creeper with Rabies, double dip on the poison, and basically clean them up with Lightning Storm was kind of my thought. I'm using Storm Strike as my basic, which really kind of helps out for spirit generation. I mean, you can kind of clean up a couple hits here and there with Storm Strike. You get some of your resource back. You can kind of cast another Lightning Storm. So it worked out pretty well. But I came across I unlocked it in the Season's Journey, I think. I can't remember what chapter it was, but I think it might have been chapter 3. No, maybe chapter 2. Yeah, chapter 2. So I seen some potential synergy, because I was already using the Poison Creeper by doing a companion build. I know companion builds have been pretty lackluster since Diablo 4 launched. I tried one on Necro, and on launch, it didn't kind of work out very well. I know everyone's kind of been hoping they'd buff companions, and they buffed them, but I mean they don't buff them enough to make them viable in endgame. And I mean this might not be viable towards endgame either, but for leveling, it definitely feels better to me while I'm leveling the Druid. So basically, aspect of the alpha is your wolf companions are now werewolf companions, and they deal 90% multiplicative additional damage and can spread rabies. So if you're leaning into a rabies build, so basically there's some synergies you can have with this, with shepherds and a couple other things, Paragon nodes, even affixes on your gear. You can roll companion damage. It all kind of helps out. I do think as well in endgame, if Rabies is a part of the endgame build, it might be good to keep just wolves on, just to help clean up. When you spread your Rabies, it seems like there's a little bit of lag on the poison coming through. It takes a little bit for him to actually die. Having a couple wolves with your Seneschal kind of hanging back and whatever seems to help clean them all up. So, but anyways, everything I have is just base codex aspects, so they're all, the lowest possible rolls. I'm kind of thinking with the max roll and putting it on your amulet, that would be the way to go to get the most out of it. Right now I got shepherds on my amulet, but yeah, it might be something to look at a little later if I continue to use the companion build. So basically, I have my skill tree. I have Storm Strike, Lightning Storm. I'm not using any defensive at the moment. I kind of took off Blood Howl. It wasn't enough resource gain. I mean, like, it was a nice quality of life, but it didn't really benefit me enough for for me to keep it on, is what it felt like. So basically wolves into ferocious wolf pack. Poison creeper I maxed out just because the early game poison damage feels really good. Into ferocious poison creeper. I also picked up ravens, just to take advantage of shepherds and brutal ravens. So rabies, of course, I maxed out into natural rabies. I'm not using an ultimate at the moment. I'm probably going to my endgame build. I'm probably gonna swap over to Cataclysm and try that out in a full lightning build. And the ultimate, I mean, you can kind of use whatever, I think, for at this stage of the game if you're still leveling. But yeah, it's kind of up to you. There's a lot of discretionary points you can spend here as well. One that really helps out is Call of the Wild. You can get ranks of this, roll on your amulet and stuff too, so the more ranks the better, to help out your companion power. So as far as my Seneschal goes, right now I'm kind of running Lightning Bolt and Impale as my two governing stones. For Lightning Bolt, yeah, electrocution support, burning support, and seeking support. They're only at level 2. I'm assuming they're going to get a little bit more powerful as they get ranked up, but yeah, I don't know how much it's going to really matter when you get to endgame. I don't think the damage is really going to scale the way they thought it would, but I mean, we'll see when we get there, I guess. For the Impale, I'm using Arcing support, Fortify support, and Voluminous support. I feel like these are all interchangeable at this level. I mean, it just depends on kind of what you want to get out of him. I mean, I tried Gyrate for a bit. That was pretty underwhelming. I haven't really tried most of these yet. I don't even have them all unlocked, so but yeah, I mean, those are the ones I've been running. They feel fine for what they are, so I don't know. I mean, obviously Evernight and Genesis are going to be, once they get unlocked, I mean, the +4 to all skills, if you're in an endgame build, if you have a Shaco and you have Evernight, then you can really, you know, that's 8 more ranks to your companion skills. So that could be something that really affects the damage output, which may or may not make it viable for endgame. But we'll have to see. So for the early Paragon boards as well, there is some synergies you can find with the poison damage. There's some good ones for lightning damage as well, depending on how far you get in the leveling. But one in particular for Glyph, I don't have it yet myself, but Wilds has some pretty good synergy. It increases the passive portion of your companion damage, which will be really nice. Plus, it gives you your 5% increased damage for every 5 intelligence within range. So definitely some synergy there. Currently, I am using the human glyph for my starter board. I'm pretty sure I'm going to change this at some point. It was kind of just the first one I ended up getting, and I am in human form quite a bit. So it seemed like it made sense at the time to slot that in for the time being. Obviously, I'm only at level 54. Glyphs aren't upgraded as like level 2 glyphs at the moment and all that good stuff. But for the second board, I picked... what is it again? Yeah, the Heightened Malice board. So for here, my glyph isn't leveled up yet, but Keeper, I think, gives you some pretty good synergy. So the 30% bonus at rare nodes, This is your increased damage to poison enemies, so we're going to be using a lot of poison damage for this leveling build. So getting that extra increase, I think is going to help it quite a bit. Also, you get a bunch of DR in this board as well from poison enemies, and basically everything's going to be poisoned, so it's pretty handy to have. I mean, there might be some better choices when you get a little later in leveling and you have more points and more nodes unlocked and all that good stuff, but this has been feeling pretty good so far just for how far I am. So in terms of gameplay, it's pretty basic. I mean, you walk in, you hit your mob with Rabies, kind of dodge past them, hit as many people with Rabies as you can to kick in the cooldown with the new legendary aspect for this season. And then, so basically you can just throw your ravens, throw your wolves, throw your creeper out, kind of duck into a corner or move off to the side out of the way, and just hit them with lightning storm. When you run out of resource, walk in, give them a couple taps with Storm Strike, get your spirit back up, rinse and repeat. You can also throw your wolves ahead if you have a couple trash mobs or a couple mobs, you know, kind of in close proximity. Hit the first mob with Rabies, kind of walk through them, throw your wolves to the second mob. Works well in an open layout. It's a little tougher in closed dungeon layouts, but yeah, that's pretty much all you have to do, and it feels pretty tanky while you're doing it. I was feeling pretty squishy when I was using Trample and Bloodhowl. Yeah, this kind of seemed to fix all that, so I don't know if I don't know how viable it'll be, like I say, towards the end game, but for leveling, you know, right now I don't have movement speed on, you know, any of on my amulet, and like there's a lot of roles I don't have, so this is very much a very basic setup. There's also a lot more synergies that you can find to kind of work into this build, so I don't know, I'm interested to see how much can potentially be juiced out of the companion build. It also seems like the Seneschal kind of tracks a little better, and this might just be RNG or some, maybe it's just in my head, I don't know, but it seems like the Seneschal kind of follows along better and kind of has a better idea of what he's doing now that I have the two werewolves kind of follow me. So I don't know if that may just be a RNG thing, but I did notice it. So basically you walk in, you want to hit them with Rabies. You can kind of play it as you want. You can hit them with Rabies, throw your ravens, throw your creeper out, throw your wolves. You know, when you get your Rabies cooled down, rinse and repeat. Step back, take advantage of the shepherd's aspect, and hit them with lightning to clean up any leftovers. Or you can just kind of go through and, like, you can basically hit everything at cooldown. Or you can kind of play it as you go, and kind of save. A lot of times you won't need your lightning storm to clean up. The wolves, the companions, kind of do a pretty decent job of that, as well as the poison. So mostly what I do is I'll save it for elites, or bosses, something that needs a little bit more horsepower to take them out. So it's kind of up to you guys. Like, you can play it as it's pretty versatile as far as playstyle. It's not gonna be the quickest, I don't believe, as far as like speed runs. I can't really tell you because I don't have any decent rolls on my gear. You know, I'm pretty sure there's a way to get a lot more movement speed out of this build, but I just haven't gotten there yet. Same thing with spirit generation. I'm pretty sure there's Umbral is going to work really well with this. I tried Umbral, but I only have a Codex roll at the moment. I didn't get a roll to drop in the wild, so I decided to take it off because it didn't really feel like it was doing anything for me at the moment. But spirit generation and movement speed, that's the two things you're going to want to be looking for on this build. Alright guys, that does it for my thoughts on aspect of the alpha. Seems like there's a lot of synergies that we can take advantage of. I don't know if it will make a companion build viable in endgame. It does feel good while leveling. Adding the spread of Rabies kind of helps it out a lot, I think. So we'll just have to see if there ends up being a viable endgame build that takes advantage of the aspect of the alpha. So if you like the content, drop a like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think. If you found any more synergies that make it even stronger, different ways to use it, utilize it, and whatnot. And if you guys want to follow along, I'll be streaming on YouTube, Twitch. There's a link to my Twitch channel on my YouTube channel here. So if you want to follow along, drop a like and subscribe.